In the early 20th century, the United States military remained deeply segregated. African Americans faced prejudice and discrimination in all aspects of American life. This was especially true in the armed forces, where opportunities for Black Americans were limited. However, the outbreak of World War II in 1939, and America's subsequent entry into the conflict, created a demand for more pilots. This need, coupled with growing pressure from civil rights groups, led to the creation of the Tuskegee Airmen program in 1941. The Tuskegee Airmen program was the brainchild of several individuals and organizations. The NAACP, along with Black newspapers and activists, had long advocated for equal opportunities for African Americans in the military. These groups argued that Black citizens should have the same right to serve their country and defend their nation as any other American. Their efforts gained traction when President Franklin D. Roosevelt, influenced by First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and pressured by civil rights leaders, authorized the training of African American pilots. The program was established at the Tuskegee Institute, a historically Black college in Alabama. Tuskegee was chosen for its existing aviation facilities and its commitment to training African Americans for professional careers. The decision to locate the program in the Deep South, however, was not without controversy. Many white Southerners opposed the idea of Black pilots, reflecting the entrenched racism of the Jim Crow era. Despite facing prejudice and discrimination, the first class of Tuskegee Airmen, known as the 99th Pursuit Squadron, began their training in July 1941. The creation of the Tuskegee Airmen program marked a significant moment in American history. It represented a crack in the wall of segregation that had long divided the nation. While the program was initially met with skepticism and resistance from some quarters, the Tuskegee Airmen would go on to prove their doubters wrong, becoming one of the most celebrated units in the U.S. Army Air Forces. Their courage, skill, and determination in the face of adversity would help to pave the way for the desegregation of the U.S. military and inspire generations to come. The training program at Tuskegee was rigorous and demanding, designed to produce the best possible pilots. Candidates underwent a battery of physical and mental tests, with only a select few chosen to participate. Those who were selected faced a grueling schedule of academic coursework, flight simulation, and actual flight training. The curriculum covered everything from meteorology and navigation to combat tactics and aircraft maintenance. The cadets at Tuskegee faced not only the challenges inherent in becoming pilots, but also the added burden of racial prejudice. They trained with outdated equipment, often relegated to segregated facilities, inferior to those of their white counterparts. Despite these obstacles, the Tuskegee Airmen persevered, driven by a desire to serve their country and prove their worth. Their instructors, many of whom were Black themselves, instilled in them a sense of pride, discipline, and determination. The Tuskegee Airmen trained on several different aircraft throughout the program's duration. They began with basic trainers like the PT-17 Stearman and the BT-13 Valiant, before progressing to more advanced aircraft like the AT-6 Texan. Eventually, they graduated to flying the aircraft they would become most famous for, the P-40 Warhawk and the P-51 Mustang. These fighters, known for their speed, maneuverability, and firepower, would become synonymous with the Tuskegee Airmen's legacy. The rigorous training at Tuskegee produced a cadre of highly skilled and highly motivated pilots. They distinguished themselves in training exercises, consistently outperforming many of their white counterparts. Their performance did not go unnoticed, and soon, the Tuskegee Airmen would get their chance to prove themselves in the crucible of combat over the skies of Europe. In early 1943, the 99th Fighter Squadron, the first group of Tuskegee Airmen to complete their training, was deployed to North Africa. Initially, they faced skepticism and resistance from some white commanders who doubted their abilities. However, the 99th quickly dispelled any doubts with their performance in combat. They flew their first combat mission on June 2, 1943, escorting bombers over the heavily defended skies of Sicily. The 99th Fighter Squadron, later joined by other Tuskegee units to form the 332nd Fighter Group, flew thousands of missions over North Africa, Sicily, Italy, and other parts of Europe. They escorted bombers on strategic bombing raids, engaged in dogfights with enemy fighters, and provided close air support for ground troops. The Tuskegee Airmen became known for their skill, courage, and determination in battle. They earned the nickname Red Tails due to the distinctive red paint on the tails of their aircraft. One of the most notable achievements of the Tuskegee Airmen was their exceptional record in protecting bombers. They flew over 200 escort missions, and during those missions, they developed a reputation for never losing a bomber to enemy fighters. This remarkable accomplishment earned them the respect and admiration of bomber crews, who felt safer knowing the Red Tails were on their wing. The Tuskegee Airmen's success in bomber escort became a testament to their skill, discipline, and unwavering commitment to their mission. The Tuskegee Airmen faced constant danger during their missions over Europe. They contended with enemy fighters, anti-aircraft fire, and the ever-present risk of mechanical failure or bad weather. They flew in challenging conditions, often encountering fierce resistance from the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force. Despite the risks, they persevered, driven by a sense of duty, patriotism, and a desire to prove their worth. Their bravery and sacrifice in combat would help to turn the tide of the war and inspire future generations. More than a uniform, the fight against discrimination at home and abroad.